Welcome to the United States of America, a nation of 80-year-old bricklayers. Once upon a time here, you could retire when you were in your 60s. That's no more. In another sign of just how bad our nation is treating the working class, a new study by the Employee Benefit Research Institute shows that most Americans today will have to work until their late 70s before they can think about retiring. According to the study, if you make roughly $31,000 a year, which is about the average for about 40% of Americans, and more than twice the minimum wage, by the way, you'll have to work until you're 76 years old just to have a chance of retiring. And I say chance because even if you do work until 76, you still only have a 50-50 shot at having enough money to live off of in retirement. A 50-50 chance if you don't get sick, if your house isn't blown away in a tornado, and if your pension isn't stolen by banksters on Wall Street. Picture is even grimmer if you earn minimum wage, about $12,000 a year. Then get ready to work until you're 84 years old. That's right, 84 years old. And again, that's just to have a 50-50 shot at retiring. So you might as well work until you're 90. Considering that the average life expectancy in this nation is about 78 years old, we're basically telling Americans now that they literally will work until they die. How did this happen in America, the wealthiest nation on the planet? In large part, it's because the 400 wealthiest Americans, our billionaires, our American oligarchs, control more wealth than the bottom 150 million Americans combined. That's right, 400 people, 400 Americans own more money and more stuff than 150 million other Americans. You can fit 400 people into this TV studio, and they'd have more wealth than all the people who live in the states of California, New York, Florida, Texas, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, and let's throw Kansas in there, combined. And most of those people who are out-wealthed by America's oligarchs are those same people who will be working until they die. What's the point of having more money in your family than most of the world's nations when right down the street you have an 84-year-old with cataracts and a bad back flipping hamburgers at McDonald's just to survive today? Is that really the type of America that we envision? After 1932, it only took 30 years, just 30 years, for Democratic and Republican presidents, Democratic and Republican presidents, to turn America around from a nation where people were living on tents in the streets and literally starving to death into a nation with a strong and large middle class, where a family of four could survive on one paycheck and afford to own a home and a car and send their kids to college and have a vacation once a year, and then retire at an age young enough to still enjoy life. That's what progress looks like, improving the quality of life for more and more people. That's what we call the American dream. And those Democratic and Republican presidents, from FDR to Eisenhower to Kennedy to Nixon, did it by taxing the rich at 91 to 74% and investing in infrastructure and a strong social safety net. But then it only took 30 years, starting in 1980 with Ronald Reagan's election, to destroy the American dream. So that nowadays you have to plunge deep into debt just to make ends meet. So that today only the lucky few can retire before they die. Republicans in Congress say, in fact, we need to raise the retirement age for Social Security, as though making it harder for people to retire is some kind of a sign of progress. It's not. It's more proof that we're still going backwards. To go forward, we need to lower the Social Security and Medicare retirement age in America. It's a program I call Cash for Geezers. It's a really simple concept. You raise the tax rates on the millionaires and billionaires in America back to what they were under Republican President Richard Nixon, 70%. And you shore up Social Security by lifting the cap so that Bill Gates will pay the same percentage of his income as you and I do into the Social Security Trust Fund. Then you drop the retirement age to 55. That way you give the geezers a rest, let them enjoy life in retirement, and you also cut unemployment in half and open up the labor pool for the younger generation of Americans who right now are staring at a 24% unemployment rate. In fact, it should tighten up the labor market enough that wages will rise, which will increase tax collections, which will solve the deficit problem and pay for the retirees. Everybody wins, except the billionaires, who have to pay the same tax rate as they did for most of 50 years in America. And they frankly won't even notice. I don't know about you, but to me, me, this Republican idea of forcing Americans to work until they die is unacceptable. This isn't a death camp. This is the United States of America. Let's rebuild our middle class and take care of our elderly. I think cash for geezers is a great place to start. And that's the big picture for tonight. For more information on the stories we covered, visit our website at thomhartmann.com and rt.com. Also check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/thebigpictureRT and youtube.com/thomhartmann. And this entire show is available as a free podcast, a video podcast, on iTunes. And don't forget, democracy begins with you. When you show up and get active, tag, you're it. We'll see you next week.